Welcome back to Nerd Thug Radio.
Oh.
I'm the Captain Joey Savage.
Corey DLG.
Nico DLG.
You're listening to us on Conroe's FM 104.5, 106.1.
Sister stations.
Worldwide at
IRLoneStar.com.
This segment, we are joined by a new friend of Nerd Thug Radio. It is Aaron Cantu from the podcast 2 Clicks from KO. Say hello.
What up?
So, Aaron, we kind of bumped into each other. You know, we did your show last week, the 2 Clicks from KO podcast, so you guys should check it out, their Facebook page. And basically, we just kind of bumped into each other from commenting back and forth on the Facebook pages, and here we are now. This beautiful friendship in my black leather vest.
So I have to ask, who slid into whose DMs first?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Aaron? I mean, was it was it Joey? He seems to be a little aggressive in these situations.
I'm a DM slider.
Yeah.
According to last segment, you're a DM slider.
I think it was like I was like, hey man, cool show, and then he was like, hey, can I have your phone number? And I was like,
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Then
kind of odd.
Then
I was like, that's kind of odd, but all right.
I was like, what do you wear?
Like, do you have
California?
candy? Do you have candy? Because I'll get in the van with you.
Yeah, I think you hit me up. It was like, cool show, and we back and forth, and like, hey, we should do something together. It was just love at first sight.
I know, like all he talks about is you. I'm starting to get a little jealous.
You
That's
should be.
it. Like, he'll text me all the time and be like, Aaron is so funny. Aaron was so sweet the other night. You should have seen our conversation. And then he'll screenshot it and send it to me. And I'm like, I just saw it. Like, I just sent it.
So Aaron does a podcast. It's called 2 Clicks from KO. It's predominantly about Hero Clicks, our favorite tabletop game.
Absolutely.
So how long have you, because 2 Clicks from KO has gone through a couple different like changes. So how long have you actually, like, the show's just been you? I mean, it was you and Brandon before, and now it's just you by yourself. Just take us through the history of how 2 Clicks from KO came about.
So the podcast itself was started by a buddy of mine, Brandon, about 4 years ago. And it had a short run, and then I picked it back up with him, and, you know, I wasn't the host then. I picked it up with him after the first month of War of Light storyline play event. The first month of that, which was 2014.
I think so. Yeah.
June of 2014, and then this, I think December was his last episode, or we did the New Year's episode, and that was his last episode. So it's been pretty much shifted to format to where I'm just doing different interviews with different people, weekly slash bi-weekly, and I don't know, it's pretty cool. I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, no, it's very fun. Like I said when we were on your show, and I think we talked about this before. Your show, your podcast about clicks is probably the only one that I listen to. I find it very interesting. I don't really dabble in anybody else's, but you guys, even when it was you and Brandon, and now you by yourself, y'all have done a great job of covering the game from the meta scene to the fun scene to everything in between.
Right. Yeah. So the concept of the show is that we blur the lines between casual and hardcore. So the idea being to make, if you're a casual, you consider yourself a casual player or a hardcore player, the idea is to make it the other side of it more accessible to you. So if you're casual and you want to get into competitive play, ideally listening to the show will help you do that. And on the other end of the spectrum, you have players who they don't get why their local players hate them when they show up because they're so hardcore. So the idea is, you know, they can tone down and like kind of learn how to have fun with it.
Right, which is very, very true. There's, being from Houston and being from Texas, we've got, you know, a handful of some of the best players, HeroClix players in the world. There's not a lot of them though. When we run into them, that we're like, oh man, I hate that guy. Like they're all, even though they're really good, they're all very friendly here.
A lot of them actually now are all on Team Ragnarok together in some form.
Yeah, they've all just banded up, and we refused to join. That's why we started Nerd Thug Radio.
That's right. We're the NWO of HeroClix.
Oh, but we never win.
Can I tell you, Aaron, what's my favorite part about your show?
Yes.
It's just you doing it, right? Yeah, it's just you by yourself. That's the best part. Like, I envy you so much.
See, when we started this radio show, Corey wanted to be by himself, and he figured
Didn't
out
work.
he couldn't do it.
It was probably our best episode.
The worst.
But, you know, Joey was like, I've got nothing going on in my life. I sit at home all day, every day. Please let me help you.
Every day and all day.
And then Nico was just like, hey, what are you guys doing? You guys doing a podcast? Can I get on a podcast?
I like when Corey just
You
makes
came
up
to
stuff.
me.
Podcast?
Corey just makes up
They do
stuff.
a podcast?
You guys gonna do your podcast?
So, when we did your show last week,
See, I nailed it.
when we did your show last week, you kind of grilled us with some HeroClix questions. So now we're gonna kind of flip the script on you, and just learn a little bit about Aaron Cantu. You know, you should just go by that name from now on.
I wouldn't do it, man. Don't give in. He gives nicknames to everybody, and they're usually terrible.
Double A Ron.
Double A-Ron.
He's pretty sure he's clever, though. Like, I don't know who told him once that he was funny.
Super clever.
But,
So just start here. What was the set that you started playing this game with?
Critical Mass.
Critical Mass.
in the very
Long time
beginning.
ago,
Yeah.
From the jump.
Not
That's
not
like,
the beginning, but
like the third
I mean,
set or
it's
fourth. Because the beginning is like Infinity Challenge and
Do you know, I
seven-
actually
seven
bought
Hyper Time.
set-
I actually
seven
bought
set,
the
actually.
starter set of Infinity Challenge and 2 boosters the day HeroClix came out.
Yeah.
And nobody
Nice.
would play with me because it wasn't what it is now, and also it was in the beginning HeroClix was pretty lame. They did like the rookie veteran experience thing, like
There was 3 of each one with the
yeah,
ratings
and
and
then there
stuff.
was like 120 figures. The boosters were in 4-packs. The
Yeah.
whole thing was a mess. The rules were kind of dumb at that point. The
Right.
tokening wasn't quite worked out yet. I mean, it was.
Yeah,
I
feel
mean,
like-
Infinity Challenge has 196 figures.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
yeah.
Yeah, I think we came in at a good time. I got into it right when Amazing Spider-Man dropped, right before Fear itself. And that's kind of what, right. You know, that was kind of a fun time to get in. There's a lot to learn, but it was super fun. So let's
That's
just roll.
Brandon's starting point too.
Yeah. So let's roll to this next question. Next question, guys. So you asked us this question, so we're gonna ask you, what's your favorite click that you play? Like whenever you're building a team, or you're just like, man, I keep going back to this guy. Like this is the guy I like.
Oh man, I guess that's a tough one because I don't really play that much stuff. I don't play the same stuff. I like to play different stuff.
Right. You gotta have a favorite
I
character.
I can tell you probably the figure I've played the most, more than anything, is the veteran Spider-Man from Critical Mass. That was the first figure I got, and I just played the crap out of that figure when it came out. So easily that's the figure I played the most, other than maybe like a con artist or something. But like those aren't really characters. They're just like, streetwalkers.
some dudes.
Streetwalkers?
Gotcha.
That's not what those people are. Streetwalkers
Whoa.
are something
Whoa.
totally different. They do take tokens though.
Yeah.
So my question is, so HeroClix is obviously based on comic books and comic book characters.
Yeah.
Do you nerd out over any of the comic book stuff? Are you into comics, or what's your
Yeah,
angle on
I
that?
read. So I casually read comics. I'm not really a hardcore reader, although like when I find a storyline, I like get super into it. Like Kingdom Come, when I first read it, I thought it was amazing.
Yeah, that's a great one.
When the trade paperback came out, I bought it. Went to Wizard World LA, got it signed by Alex Ross, who's my favorite comic book artist.
That's cool.
And I've got the entire what's it called, Annihilation storyline.
Oh yeah, I really like those too. I like the second one, the Conquest, because Conquest had
Conquest
the
is
Guardians of the Galaxy in it.
Yeah, it leads into Guardians of the Galaxy. But
Yeah.
then that's when I really got into those characters, and I fell in love with those characters. So yeah, I mean, I'll read like Batman stuff, Flash stuff. So like, characters that I'm fond of, I'll read. But like, I didn't grow up reading comics. I grew up in a pretty country area, so like there was like Bun Boys or something like that. It was the grocery store, and we would go there. Seriously, and we would go there, and like sometimes they'd have like Darkman comics or something like that.
Oh man,
And in fact, Darkman was like the first comic I ever bought.
that is so weird because Darkman was such a bad comic book. Like, it's so weird.
Right. So yeah, I didn't grow up really reading comics, but yeah, I got into them for a little while, but then I was like spending entirely too much money just like buying comics. But I do have a decent collection.
Yeah, no, believe me, I totally understand that.
Those comics can get you real quick.
So can HeroClix.
Yeah. So we got a couple more minutes before this segment closes out. So we'll end on this question. Resources have been a huge deal since the Infinity Gauntlet.
Yeah. But
As
is
the
No Man's
first one.
Land or
I think
Infinity
Gauntlet
Gauntlet
was
was
first.
before.
Is
No,
it?
Infinity
Okay.
Gauntlet was the first one.
Right.
Okay.
So out of all the resources that they've released, which one has been your favorite?
My favorite, probably the power plant.
Oh, I guess.
I think it's the most versatile of all the resources, and it has like a theme to it. It's nice. It's really nice to like collect the rings and things of the sort, and there's a lot of really cool tricks you can do with it.
You know what's funny is that I never once played against it. I never once used it.
One time. It's the only resource I've never owned.
Yeah.
Up until like the new, I don't have a Supreme Intelligence, but
Right.
other than that, that's the only one I haven't had.
Like when they
I
started.
can tell you,
Go ahead.
I was gonna say I can tell you my least favorite is like all of the power batteries.
Yes. Yeah.
Those are
It's
ridiculous.
so stupid.
Man.
The power batteries wound up being, I think, way overpowered. Just the orange one could cancel one color of the entire opposing team.
It would have been cool if it was just the green one. Like that would have been okay.
No, that would have felt lopsided.
If it's just the green one because it was an OP event, everyone can get a hold of it. But then they started releasing all the other ones, and they were
That you had to buy.
and they're like con exclusives, and it was like hard to get, and the price just drove up, and like they could all just do insane different things on top of the already insane things they can do. It was rough.
It was.
And all the stat buffs from like the
Right.
entities. Oh
yeah.
man.
Oh, that was a rough time at Clicks. A
War
fun
of-
time, but a lot of crazy stuff.
War of Light, more like War of No, this isn't fun.
Yeah.
The
no.
only OP event I ever
It
won.
was war on fun.
War on fun. War on fun. With that, we're going to take a war on break here. When we come back,
That's not how that works.
No.
Aaron Cantu is going to hang around, and he's going to join in us with our weekly top 3. You're listening to Nerd Thug Radio.
Hashtag talking nerdy to you.